the shred, that kind of thing? Are you going back through your old customers? No, it's all brand new people that are reaching out to me and they're like, what is this shred? I feel like I'm not having to sell them anything. I just have them watch a 2-minute video. Do you want to get started? It's like I'm closing them right off the bat. Did you like what you see? Do you want to get started? I even just say, like, right off the bat, like, what are you hoping to achieve? When they ask me what the shred is, I send them a link, watch this, but I'm just curious, what would you like to achieve? And then it starts, them thinking about what they want to do. And it's really simple to close people on it. And people are loving it. We have a friend right now who his wife signed him up for the shred. And this is one of Garrett's friends from high school and one of my friends from college. And he texted Garrett today and was like, oh my gosh, I've lost 10 pounds. And yesterday he felt like crap. And today he feels absolutely amazing and doesn't want to stop. He's so excited.
That is awesome. Fantastic. Well, way to go, and way to keep sharing that shred and making it easy. I mean, and you're probably, well, I already know you're finding people that are doing the shred or joining your team now.
Yes.
So part of that is about asking too. So we're going to talk about that tonight, about asking. Tracy, I just gave you a shout out. Whoops, she's gone again. We'll wait till she comes back. So anyway, let's make it easy and fun. And Tracy, can you hear me? Tracy Zoosh, can you hear me? Tracy. I don't know if she can hear us. Okay. Tracy Zushlag, can you hear me? Her internet is slow. So anyway, you guys give her a shout out. Tracy, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can. Hi.
Okay, we just gave you huge congratulations for being the winner of the shred participants with 5 participants. And by the way, you get to combine that also with July 25th start too. So if you get 5 more, yeah. So I need to change the dates on the WUFU on that too. So we'll get that done. Okay. So great job.
Thank you. So okay.
So
they're all hanging in there.
Yeah, they're all doing good. It's great, huh?
Yeah, it's super fun.
Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys and we'll go through some of this stuff on closing, which I think you'll find super helpful. If it will let me share my screen. Here we go. Okay. So a lot of times people are like, I talked to them, but I didn't really know what to say after that. And so the reason why.
Okay, but you have to be quiet, please.
Yeah, the reason why people sign up for anything is because why? Somebody asked them to, right? So, and you guys can talk to me through this because I can still see you all. So we want to give people the opportunity to say yes. And a lot of the times sometimes we're afraid to ask them because what if they say no? And I always like to say to people, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing. And nothing. They say no, nothing can happen. So it's not like we have a huge risk here, but what if they say yes? So you kind of want to reframe that in your head a little bit. Now, if you were here years ago, we went through a little formula that was a little acronym called MAPS. And this is a great little acronym to remember how to best close the sale. And closing the sale really doesn't happen at the end. And you just heard Mel give a great example, and she's had this training. So it just comes naturally to her because she's been doing it so long. But you want to ask them, what their motivation is. That's the M, okay? What's motivating them to want to know more? So Mel, when you said, I don't even have to close them, they're calling me, and before you're sending them any information, you're saying, well, what are your goals? What are you wanting to do? So what's their motivating factor, okay? And then to say, gosh, you know what, I'd be happy to send the information to you. This may or may not be for you, but you know what? I think you're going to love it like me. So just a little takeaway in there so that it kind of lets them off the hook. So it's not like, what you don't want to do is blast them and say, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. And you'd be so great at this and da-da-da-da-da-da. So you know what? This may or may not be for you, but gosh, I'll send the information to you. And I think you're going to love it like me. Okay. And then the first P stands for probing, or asking questions to find the problem. So, when you ask them, what's motivating them to want to know more, you ask them a few more questions like, well, tell me, if they said, gosh, I'd really love to lose let's just say 10 pounds, because a lot of people will say that to me, 10 or 20 pounds. Well, how long have you been trying to lose the 10 or 20 pounds? What else have you tried? Okay. So you want to ask a little bit more around their motivating question to find out, what is this problem? What is the whole scope of the problem? And, that way we can find a way to help. The second P is stands for, so the first one is probing questions. The fourth is problem. So really uncover the pain of the problem. So it sounds to me like you've been carrying around this 10 to 20 pounds for quite some time. Is that been uncomfortable for you? Tell me more about that. It might be something you might want to say. Is that causing you, do you wish that you could look better in your swimsuit this summer? Or wouldn't it be great to buy that next size down in pants? Or you guys see what I'm saying, right? If it's about the business, well, I know you don't have any time. I talked to Kelly this morning. She had somebody that is lack of time. So it's part of that problem. It sounds to me like you're super busy, but tell me, what else have you thought of to be able to buy back more of your time? Okay. And how is that affecting you when you don't have the extra time to do some of the things you love? Are there any things that you're not able to do that you'd like to do because you don't have enough time? So it allows them to kind of think about what it is, that's best for them versus you trying to sell them. Okay. So things that people have pain around are typically these 4 things. You might want to write this down. Their job, you can ask them questions around these things. Their time, their freedom, and their health. Okay? Are they able to go do the things they like to do? Are they healthy enough? And then we want to give them the solution. That's the S, is the solution to solve the problem. Okay? So once we've kind of done I'd love to give you more information. We've done some prepping questions. We've kind of poked around the problem a little bit. Now we want to give them a basic qualifying question. This is how we give them the solution. And if you do this, you don't need to close, okay? And that is, hey, you know what? You told me that you wanted to get out of debt, or you said you wanted to lose 10 pounds, or whatever it is, okay? If I could show you how our program can help you do this, would you take a look? Would you watch the video that I'm going to send you? It's 2 minutes long. That's what Mel said. She said it perfectly in the beginning. Thank you, Mel, for not being a plant and just doing that automatically. That was great. Okay, so if I could, would you? That's your premise, okay? And if they say, sure, I'd love to watch the video, okay, well, with your permission, I'll show the program to you. If it's for you, great. If not, no hard feelings. But you know what? I think you'll love it like me. So, it's not, what you don't want to do is do the takeaway like, well, if I send you the info and if you like it, it's great. If not, it's no big deal. It's not that. It's like, hey, you know what? If it's for you, great. If not, no hard feelings. But guess what? I think you're going to love it like me. So you're excited about it. That's what you're trying to get across to them. Okay. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
So yes, they'll watch the video. Okay. Then it comes to the presentation. So I'm taking you through the whole thing. You want to show them the benefits. Your story is the best presentation. So I'm sure, Mel, that you shared your experience with the shred with your people, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's really what the presentation is. Okay. You want to show them how the benefits will help them. So you want to make it, you already know what their motivating question, what was it? What was their problem? And so, gosh, can you see how by doing this 10-day focus and then transitioning into Transform 30, and it's not quite as strict, but doing that together and repeating that, how when you have a lifestyle, you won't have to worry about those 10 pounds anymore. Okay. Or can you see how helping more people like this, and being able to create a nice income would actually buy back a little bit of your time. Okay. So it's all about them. Okay. Then it's close it. So if you ask the right questions in the front end, you won't have to worry about closing. Okay. So what's missing, what's frustrating them? You already did the closing when you ask those questions, because you can also say, gosh, it sounds to me like you've really been struggling with these 20 pounds. And, so when I show the program to you, if it's the right fit for you, are you ready to get started today with our shred program? So if you did it back there, you don't have to do it later. Okay. So basic qualifying questions, really the close. If I could, would you? And adding on, if I show you this and you were jazzed about it, are you going to be ready to start with us on July 25th? It's when we start our next program. So how does it look to you? Well, then let's just get started then. Sometimes it's just about asking, okay? It doesn't have to be a hard thing. Let's get you started. Richard and I had a gentleman with us. We went to look at some property on Friday up in the mountains. And on the way back, his wife had died from cancer. And we started talking. He asked us more about, because we kept asking him about himself. And we started teasing him because he said all he eats is Wendy's hamburgers. And we, of course, said, well, gosh, how do you get vegetables? And he goes, what are those? And he said, well, actually, I try to eat this other stuff, but it's really yucky. And I said, well, if I could show you a way to get something in that wasn't yucky, that was actually better than what you're doing, would you consider it? And he said, absolutely. And so he said, well, what is this Juice Plus? And so I just told him just a little short sense of what it was. And he goes, well, gosh, it sounds pretty good. How do I get started? So he asked himself, and we just said, just give me your credit card. He handed it to the back seat, and I put his order in while we were driving. So, it doesn't have to be hard, okay? So it could be even something like, gosh, well, there is the program. Do you want to join us? Are you ready to get started? That's why I love our shred, you guys, because it has a deadline, and it helps us to kind of close that cell. Okay. Now the commitment sequence, you also want to summarize to them what the benefits are to them. So, in summary, let's just share again what you're going to do is you're going to do the 10-day shred, and that's going to help you to really focus. And we're going to do that together, and then we're going to transition. So you tell them the story. Just don't do the whole presentation again. Just give them a little summary. And you can say something like, let's summarize. You said you really wanted to lose those 20 pounds, and the shred program can really help you do that by focusing on good habits, blah, blah, blah. Okay, does that make sense? Or are there any questions? You want to ask them, are there any questions? If they have a question, you want to answer it, and then you want to ask them, are there any other questions? Because by the time they get started, you don't really want them still feeling in limbo. You want them feeling confident that this is the right program for them, okay? Or if it's the right business for them, okay? And then you want to get the commitment. So you just want to say, hey, do you see how you'll benefit by being a part of the program, or by partnering with me, or flooding your bio with fruits and vegetables, helping to inspire a community for better health, whatever it is you're talking to them about. May I make a suggestion? Let's just get started. There's another way that you can end that conversation. Okay, when it comes to the paperwork, before we get started, I just need a little more information, okay? That's just a nice little transition. And then I like to ask them, where would you like this shipped? Which credit card would you like to put this on? What's your phone number, your email, all the things that we have. And I usually don't even use the order form. I just take that on a note on my phone or on a piece of paper, if I'm at home. So that's what I ask when they say, yeah, I'd love to get started. Okay, where would you like it shipped? That's my first question. What credit card would you like to put this on? Okay, what if they say no? Okay, sometimes they say no. Okay, usually no means not yet. It usually doesn't mean no. It means we haven't answered all of their questions. So you just need to say, okay, well, if they say, I'm not really ready yet or whatever, no problem, but may I ask why? So we had just gone through this. They told us how they wanted to lose all this weight, or they wanted to make more money, or they needed more time. May I ask why? You want to find out, because sometimes it's something as silly as, well, I just signed up with Isagenix, and I just made that commitment, and I'm going to do that for the month. Great. Well, may I make a suggestion? Can we talk at the end of the month, and then we can get your order put in so you can start on our next shred? So you want to find out why, okay? Or no problem, but may I ask what it is that you want to think about? If they said, I want to think about it. I always say, I really like to be sure I answer all of your questions. Most of the time when people say, I need to think about it, it's because they don't even really even know what else to ask. And when I say, may I ask, what it is you want to think about? Usually it's, well, gosh, maybe I will get ready. Maybe I will start, or it'll be just something that is a silly thing, and we answer it and we get them started. Okay, the thing is, we never pressure people. We give them the chance to get started by asking, okay? And if they are not ready to get started, we're going to advance to more information at a later appointment, or we're going to stop because they absolutely are not interested. That's it, okay? So again, you want to continue advancing until they say no. What that means is you want to set up that appointment for that next contact time. So you don't want to say, okay, well, let me know, or, I'll try to catch you next week, or things like that. You want to say, gosh, you know what, let me get you another video, or let me send you to my website or send you an article. And how about if we can chat, gosh, you know what, next Tuesday I've got some time, or I've got some time Wednesday morning, which is better, and then we can get those questions answered for you. Does that work for you? And then you could also even ask them, would they like to join you at the next presentation that happens to be at your home, or for coffee, or the next Prevention Plus, whatever that is. But you want to get them to commit to an action. If you leave them in limbo, you guys, that's where we all start to feel like, oh, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson, because now we have to catch them. And if they see us calling and we didn't have a reason for us, they know why we're calling, they don't answer the phone. And it's a weird energy for them. It's a weird energy for you. But if you set up that next appointment, we know that they're still interested. They're still in process, and they're going to probably answer their phone, and you'll have a reason to talk to them without having to beat around the bush. So always set that next appointment for that next advance. Now, if they keep saying no, you have somebody who's not interested for sure, and you really don't want to waste your time. So instead of letting that get into your psyche, look, not everybody, this isn't for everybody. And so I'd much rather find that out right now versus trying to chase them around for 3 weeks and then they tell me no. So we want to give everybody the opportunity to get all these beautiful fruits and vegetables in their body. But if they're absolutely not interested from a business perspective, we don't want to waste our time either. Okay, so don't say, I'll catch you later, whatever. Okay, we again set that appointment up. Okay, so you want to continue advancing until they join the program or your team. They have that next appointment, or they say no. It's just that simple. Okay, here's a little acronym for you to remember how the process goes at the very end of that. It's called SAIL, okay? Give them a summary of what you talked about. Ask them if there's any questions. The L is in the will, okay? Reminding them why they will benefit, okay? And then entry into the paperwork, okay? So that's just kind of your last little piece of that. So that's what I've got for you guys tonight. Is there any questions?
Reagan, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Sure.
That I've been loving with the shred. And, when people have told me no before, and they've told me, no a long time ago or whatever, but it's really interesting how this new program has really, this 10-day shred has just really gotten people interested that have totally told me no for a very, very long time before. And even were just getting Juice Plus for their kids, and they had nothing, they didn't want anything to do with Juice Plus for themselves. And now they're jumping on board. It's just another on-ramp for people that have said no in the past.
Right.
And I just love that piece of it, that no oftentimes just means not right now, or it's not the right program. They don't see it for themselves yet. So
Exactly.
it's really interesting seeing that transition with people that I've talked to about Juice Plus years and years and years ago. So that's been really cool.
Well, and the reason why that works is because you're still consistent.
Still doing it. It's the same thing.
Still doing it. That's why you guys don't want to stop. You want to stay in the game, because people will, start to believe you. And a lot of our friends, especially when we're first getting started, like Sarah up here, a lot of your friends are going to wait and see if you're still sticking around in the next year. And then they're going to be interested. Or they see that you're still excited about it, then they'll come on around. So how did you guys feel about that information?
It was good.
Was that helpful at all?
Oh, yeah. It's always good to hear.
Yeah, it's, for me, Reagan, it's super helpful. I think I've obviously been using that for a while now. And mine's even like an abbreviated version of that.
Right.
I don't feel like I have to go through all of that, but I still have the steps. And it's a lot shorter just because I've gotten better at it. And for some people, I can, skip a little bit. You don't have to go through all the summary so much. But it really is helpful to kind of have that in your mind of like how it goes.
Well, and the summary with the shred is so simple. I mean, it's, you guys, that little postcard that we made, that's my presentation. That's my summary. That's, that's what I use. So if you ask the basic if I could, would you? And you get that motivating question and the basic qualify, you can. It's just, that's kind of, I was giving you different ideas of different things that you can say, but it really is, what do you, it's all about them, right? Not just like, oh, the shred's great, let me tell you what we do. No, well, why are you asking, right? That's the most important piece. Why are you asking? They wouldn't be asking you if they didn't have a problem. So you want to ask a little bit more about that. And then if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And, if it was the right program for you, would you be ready to start with us on July 25th? Great. Here's how it works. Here's the benefits. Here's what happened for me. Here's what I think will happen for you with your problem. And are you ready to get started on July 25th? It's that easy. I went through that whole, what I just showed you in 15 seconds? That's it.
Exactly. The other thing that I love about the Shred program is that we always know when the next one's coming up. Because sometimes people like to say, oh, well, keep me in mind for the next one. All right, great. It's coming up on the 25th. Are you going to be ready to start then?
Right.
And they'll either say yes or no. And I just kind of keep moving people down my list of when the next one's going to start. So that really makes it super simple. And if I've gone like 12 shreds and they haven't, they're still saying no, I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. I know you keep saying that you want to do this, but this date isn't working out. Should give them an option like, hey, should we just do one together that's not on a certain date? We can start whenever you want. Or,
maybe all of those things you're not able to do all of them. Maybe we could do the one simple change program is best for you.
Yep.
Yeah. It's always an option.
I have a question about what do you suggest people do in that interim? So let's say you have someone that just, like I have this group that just finished, they still have goals. They haven't, reached all their goals. Do you continue with the two, just is it the same thing? Like, what do you tell them?
Yeah. So we're going to transition into Transform 30, which is the same things we've been doing. Okay. But now instead of saying no alcohol, no coffee, it's reduce or eliminate. So obviously we're still going to be conscious of it. But if you want to have a glass of wine with your husband this weekend, you can. Just don't do it during the shred days.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So again, this is about a lifestyle program. This isn't about going back to the way they were. And so they've had all these benefits. At the end of the 10-day shred is the best time to check in with them and say, gosh, aren't you so proud of yourself? I mean, isn't that great? Let's not go back. Let's keep going. But on the front end, hopefully you shared with them that that's kind of where we are headed. And we're going to shred again. And you guys, you can pick any of the ones we're going to shred with. Now, if you've got people that are kind of missed the shred date, like Mel said, or maybe they ordered but their product's not here, give them a starter set and they can still be doing the habits of the shred even if they don't have their product yet.
Okay.
So don't make them wait, and then maybe they just extend their own little shred date a few days after or whatever.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So don't wait to put their orders in and things.
Do you have the rest of the shred dates out, like on your team calendar, or is it just every 2 weeks? Or
well, we're going to do 2 a month, and so we need to finish doing that. The next one's July 25th, but we will get the rest of the shred dates out there.
Okay.
Through the end of the year.
What I've been trying to do, and we kind of tweaked it a little bit around the 4th of July, was when I looked at the schedule, was starting with, 10 days on. So we'll be, starting again up on the 25th. So 10 days on, we started whatever, and then it's 10 days off. And then the 25th again is that next Monday. And we're really trying to also start on Mondays because I think that's helpful for people to have some time over the weekend to prep.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say probably we're looking at like August 8th would be our after.
Okay.
Even though that doesn't really give us 10 days off. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We would say maybe, we'll see, we won't get 2 in if we do that though, Mel, I would say we do the 8th and then the 29th.
And can I ask a shredding question of
Sure.
in my shredder that has had a little bit of a struggle and what you would recommend?
Sure.
So she sent me a list of all the things she's eating, and it seems to me in a way that they're all very healthy things, but it's almost too much. and yet she's craving, like she feels, I think she's feeling constantly hungry. So I was telling her, well, she has a lot of issues too. She's also been on a lot of medications for a long, long time, a lot of health issues. So I think she's trying to wean herself off of that. She kind of has a crazy work schedule. She's a vet. So she kind of works all over the place sometimes. So it's been a little bit of a challenge. And I think a lot of it for her is her low blood sugar levels is going on. I think she's kind of doing this a lot still.
She doesn't have enough protein in her diet.
That's what I asked her. And she said, I'm craving meat. And I said, eat it. Just eat it really good, healthy, lean.
She needs to eat meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's also feeling she's not able to really lose the weight she wants to lose. And I know that
she will. Yeah, she will. She needs to have protein to lose weight.
Right.
If you don't get enough protein, your body's it's just going to store everything. Right. So actually she needs to try to keep her carbs under 100 and get her protein up, and she won't be hungry.
Okay.
So for her, she might be a good paleo candidate.
Okay.
Meat and vegetables, and she shouldn't be counting calories either. The only thing she should be counting is carbs.
You know what? She wasn't. I don't know. I think she was counting calories. She sent me this list. It was like a quarter cup of carrots.
Oh.
Half a cup of like, it was just driving her crazy. And I said, you don't need to count you don't need to count all that. I was really
no, because she won't. If she eats, like for me, if I eat paleo, I can't even eat. My eyes are way bigger than my tummy. I can't even eat it all. It's because it's rich, and she should be eating things like fats and things like that. Fats are important for your brain and for your everything. The only thing she needs to worry about is carbs.
Carbs. Okay.
Carbs.
And that app that you suggested would be a good thing for her to lose it or something?
Yeah, lose it. That's the only thing. And the reason I know that is because I have issues with my blood sugar. Okay. And so I have one of the best endocrinologists in the state of Colorado, and she says, don't count any of that stuff, just count carbs and eat, because I already said I was already eating super healthy, a lot like her, I'm already eating super healthy, but I wasn't getting enough protein. So my body was just going to hang on to everything.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
So I still struggle with that because I'm not a very good protein eater, but I'm doing better. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That'll help.
All right, guys. Well, have a great week. And Mel, thank you for taking the calls the next couple weeks. And
sure.
Yeah, and we will
have fun in France.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on what we're up to. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Awesome. Have a great time.